देखे विदाउट चीटिंग? श्योर? किस किस को देखना पड़ा? थोड़ा थोड़ा देखना पड़ा. Why? Hindi names, yes. So slowly and steadily they will become the next cat, bat, rat. So sometimes it will happen. Your mother will say, कि you know समय का कुछ नहीं पता. हाँ नस्तिक आए हैं. So you know you will talk like in such terms. So do no worries. Good afternoon, Anuj. So let us continue. Yeah. So from where did we start? We started that there were souls and there were material objects. These are the two things we know. Rather than souls, we can say, or rather, let's start with souls only. So these souls and materials, how many aspects do they have? Infinite aspects. And we can we know all of them? No. We can know only limited or partial aspects of them. We cannot know complete objects, complete souls. We can never know. Our knowledge is therefore limited. And with this limited knowledge, and why is it limited? Because this material object, which is known as Pudgal, is dependent on karmas, and if the karmas are done, then it engulfs the souls. And when this matter and soul come together, it becomes what? It becomes bound. And this bounded thing, jivas, this bounded thing then keeps circling in the world through the cycle of rebirth. जन्म लेते हैं, दोबारा से मर जाते हैं. And in between, what do we do? Karmas. So if you will have good karmas, what will happen? No. If you do good karmas, you will be born in the family of Ambani. Mediocre karmas, अपने अपने पे घर पे. Bad karmas, नहीं. In poor families or with less resources, right? So this is an explanation which has been given. So now if we are having any trouble in our life, it is because of old karmas that we have already done. If we are getting something good in life, good karmas. So whatever we are getting is the result of our karmas, and whatever we are doing it in response is the new karma that we are accumulating. And now even if you do good or bad, if you do karma with passion, with desire, then foundation will happen. This means that even if you do good karma, you are still bounded. Raja ki body mein bounded, but still bounded. And now when the Jainism or Jain philosophy will preach, will they preach about pap, punya, good karmas? They will talk about liberation. Liberation means not accumulating karmas. Not accumulating karmas. And how do you not accumulate karmas? By not acting under passion and desire. So even if you are acting, but you are not acting under passions and desires, then there will be no new karmas. The old karmas will shed off, and then there will be liberation. Proper flow chart hai. Don't worry. Proper flow chart याद करेंगे. Bondage liberation के सारे answers. Same flow chart. Fine. Now let us start giving terms to each philosophy or each thing that we have started to learn. So first thing that Jainism talks about is Anekantvad. Anekantvad is the metaphysical theory. What kind of theory it is? Metaphysical theory, because it tells us that objects are present and real. Real है, ये टेबल क्या है? Real, एकदम real. This means it is a realist school. Realist school. Then how many objects are there? Finite. Can we say it is a pluralist school? Pluralist? Because so many infinite objects. Now in this world, we find two kinds of things, Jeev and Ajeev. Can we say it is also a dualistic school in one respect? Dualistic because there is strict demarcation. This is Jeev and this is Ajeev. Living and non-living. एकदम differentiation. Dualism. दोनों ही है. If we look from the perspective of Jeev Ajeev, dualism. If we look from the perspective of infiniteness of objects, pluralist. Fine? नहीं, दोनों अलग, अरे दोनों अलग अलग रिस्पेक्ट्स हैं. जीव अजीव डुअलिज्म, यू कैन क्लास. अच्छा मैं समझ गई. आर यू अ बॉय एंड अ ह्यूमन? अच्छा. आर यू वेयरिंग ब्लू एंड सिटिंग ऑन अ चेयर? आप ही के बारे में बात हो रही है. What I've done, classified in two different manners, the same thing. So the same objects are being classified in two different manner. The reality when we classify as Jeev Ajeev, dualism. When the same reality is classified as number of objects or number of entities, infinite, therefore pluralism. Fine. And each object has how many aspects? Infinite objects तो हैं, कितने aspects हैं एक object के? Can you know all the aspects? No. When you cannot know all the aspects, then बस याद रखना, we cannot know all the aspects, है ना? Not all aspects. अभी इसको हम continue करेंगे यहाँ से, ठीक है? इसे याद रखना है. Now let us talk about epistemology. Epistemology of Jainism. Before we go to Mayavad, let us understand the whole division of his epistemology. So he says, how can we know things? Jainism says, how can we know things? They say there are two types of knowledge. One is paroksh. Paroksh means mediate knowledge. And one is aparoksh. Aparoksh is immediate knowledge. When we say mediate, they again classify into, ये सब बना हुआ है आपके नोट्स में, वैसे उसी में से करवा दूं मैं, उसमें से तो नहीं करवा, इसमें बना दूं. Okay, there are two types, mati and shruti. Mati means that mediated knowledge which again is classified as perception and inference, which requires some kind of application of mind on it. Mati. It requires application of concepts or mind. Mati. Shruti means verbal testimony. And verbal testimony, will they accept Vedas? Will they accept Vedas? No. Why? They are Nastik. Remember na introduction class? They are Nastik. They will not accept verbal testimony of Vedas. Then whose verbal testimony? Agams. They have their own literature, which they call Agams. And before Agams, there were Purvas. Purvas and Agams. They take the verbal testimony of these texts. So how many pramanas have they accepted? Pramana, the 6 pramanas that we read, how many Jainas has accepted? 3. Pratyaksh, Anuman, Shabd. या फिर इंग्लिश में बोले तो perception, inference and verbal testimony. 3 have been accepted by Jains. Clear? Then if this is mediate knowledge, then what is immediate knowledge? Now, when they say mediate, this requires mediation of what? Sense organs. Perception के लिए sense organs चाहिए, inference के लिए, verbal testimony के लिए सुनना पड़ेगा ना, या देखना पड़ेगा, पढ़ना पड़ेगा. It requires some or the other kind of sense organ. Now they talk about aparoksh or immediate knowledge also. This is the knowledge which does not require sense organs. तो sense organs से नहीं आती तो कैसे आती है? Direct knowledge. ये सीधा दिमाग में आती है. Without any direct consciousness में, without any mediation, without any sense organ. You have to understand, till now you must not have ever experienced this, because we are still playing here, है ना, यहीं पे हम लोगों का सारा ध्यान है. This is mostly related to yogis. So did any one of you have this experience? You went to a Babaji or Maharaj ji or Muni Maharaj, Rishi ji, and उन्होंने जाते ही बोला, अच्छा चीटिंग करी थी एग्जाम में, or they told you something which nobody else would have known except you yourself, and then you feel like, इनको कैसे पता चला? How could he know? So how could they know? How can they know? Direct knowledge, that immediate intuition, or that immediate knowledge that is known directly is known as aparoksh or immediate knowledge. It is again of three kinds. Not internal sense. It is this. It's like soul already knows everything, but it is because of karmas they are not able to see. But if we start lifting karmas, the soul slowly and steadily attains more and more knowledge about everything. So currently you cannot know beyond this space. If I ask you how many children are sitting next room, when I'm telling you all these things now, I'm telling you from the perspective of Jainism. This is not what I am saying. Who is saying this? Jain philosophers. Fine. So Jain philosophers will say that, can you see the next room, how many children are sitting? No? Why? Because your sense organs or your knowledge is restricted to a limited space. But supposedly, that karma which restricts you on the basis of space and time, if we lift it, मतलब वो हट जाए, then you can see beyond space. Gain the power. Then there is, how can you know the things which the other person is having in their hearts or in their minds? किसी को दिल मन को पढ़ सकते हैं हम? नहीं पढ़ सकते. Because there is a kind of karma which is stopping us from doing this. But if we lift that karma, we can even know what the other person is thinking. And when all karmas are gone, then soul becomes liberated and attains Ananta Chatushte. Ananta Chatushte means infinite knowledge, power, bliss, and faith. This means when there is infinite everything. So then that soul or that mukt jeev actually knows everything about everything. And every aspect about one thing also. Isn't it? That omniscience. Omniscience ka matlab knowing it all. Omniscience is attained, and that is known as Keval Gyan. So now there are three types of aparoksha or immediate knowledge Jainism has accepted. One is Avdhi Gyan, then is Manaha, Paryay. ये सब है आपके नोट्स में, आप लिखना चाहो लिख लो. एंड लास्ट इज केवल ज्ञान. अवधि ज्ञान, clairvoyance. Clairvoyance means that power to know about things beyond spaces and times. Past में गए देख लिया, space के beyond गए देख लिया. Like a person who has this power of Abdi Gyan can know what is happening in Canada right now in a particular house, sitting here only, not moving. That's Avdi Gyan. Yeah. When some karmas are, you become lighter. So some gurus, rishis, munis attain this power. Then next is Manaparyay. Manaparyay is telepathy. Knowing the minds of other people. They immediately know what the other person has come for, what do they want, what is the actual state of that person, everything. Manaparyay. And Keval Gyan means omniscience, all knowledge of all objects. And with Keval Gyan, one attains the liberation or Kevalya in simple sense. Fine. So how many types of knowledge does they accept? हाँ मतलब ठीक है, yes, paroksh and aparoksh. In paroksh there are 3 pramanas and in aparoksh there are, all this comes under all this comes under prama. Prama means right knowledge. Prama. They have accepted right knowledge and they have also accepted 3 conditions where there is wrong knowledge. So all of this comes under prama, and there is also aprama. Aprama means wrong knowledge. Only Keval Gyan. Baki sab ye a younger level, or what do you say, a guru or Maharaj who has attained some level of powers, a greater guru. And Keval Gyan means liberated soul. Direct knowledge means innate knowledge. No, हाँ मतलब कह सकते हैं एक तरीके से. देखो, innate knowledge is because souls already have that all kinds of knowledge within itself. It is just the lifting of karma, we become known to them. Yes, you can understand. Innate knowledge is a term of Western philosophy. You cannot utilize it into Indian philosophy exactly. But yes, if you want to understand it like this. Ma'am, we wrote Jainism and Buddhism were partially heterodox. Yes, partially because they did not abuse Vedas. They were like, Vedas are not useful because they are contradictory, and they did not abuse them. They are like, okay, Vedas may be good for certain people, but we don't find knowledge in them. So this is the kind of attitude of Jainism and Buddhism. They have criticized Vedanta, but they have not abused Vedanta. Charvak is the one who has abused Vedanta. That is why he's completely heterodox. So, ma'am, powers come automatically. Yes, Pari, power comes automatically after the lifting up of karmas. After the karmas are gone, the soul already has all the power, all the knowledge and power within itself. Is it possible to attain Keval Gyan in human body? According to Jain philosophy, yes. Where the soul goes after Keval Gyan. So let us wait. Let us come to the part of liberation, then you will understand. Jainism also indirectly proved God through special powers? No. According to them, all of us are equally capable of attaining Avdi Gyan, Manah Pariyay Gyan, and all of us. Like, I'll tell you the exact understanding between difference between God and Tirthankar. Can you become Shiv? Vishnu? Can you become? Pakka? Because that's the conception of generator, operator, and destroyer. Who created this world? Vishnu. Are Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, the Trinity. है ना? They created it. Now there is a creator, there is an operator, and there is a destroyer. That is the definition of God. You cannot become Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh because they are gods. At most, you can come near them. जो religious bhakti cult वाला जो हमारा understanding है. But in Jainism, all of us can become Tirthankars. Because all of us are being limited only by the karmas. And if we overcome the karmas, then all of us can attain Avdi Gyan, Manaparya, and Keval Gyan. And all of us can also attain liberation. And all of us can also become Tirthankaras. Therefore, can you say Tirthankaras are gods? हम सब बन सकते हैं, तो वो गॉड तो नहीं है. First. Secondly, Tirthankaras are neither the creator nor the operator and nor the destroyers of universe. Universe has always been there and will always be there. Clear? Difference समझ में आ गया between God and Tirthankaras? Okay. How karma is lifted? I will tell you the way, of course. 2-4 बच्चे तो एकदम केवल ज्ञान पाना ही चाह रहे हैं. आज ही पालेंगे. Ma'am, it is said that we can become Indra and other devtas like Agni, Vayu. Does it mean that the concept of Tirthankaras is similar to the concept of demigods? Navya? Absolutely not. So Tirthankaras are humans which attain perfection and leave this cycle of birth and death. Now, the Indra, the concept. So Jainism also believes in these demigods. There are Indras and Agni, Vayu, and all these types of demigods are there. But they are below Tirthankaras. All these are below Tirthankaras because these, according to Jainism, all these Vedic gods, 33 crore Devi Devta, which we talk about, are actually a little more, you have to understand, they are again a different species which is still working towards moksha. They are also wanting to become Tirthankaras, according to Jainism. तो अगर आपको उसकी कॉस्मोलॉजी समझाई जाए, जिसमें हमें नहीं घुसना है, इट्स अ वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स कॉस्मोलॉजी, वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स यूनिवर्स का पूरा स्ट्रक्चर है ना. आज की साइंस को और उनकी साइंस को मिला लो, बहुत खतरनाक कॉस्मोलॉजी बनाई है उन्होंने. So there is this whole structure of universe whereby there are 7 nark, 7 swarg. Then there is Madhyalok. This Madhyalok is actually where humans are possible. And in this human, because one has to become human to attain liberation, because only from this Madhyalok you can go to liberation. Now these are also the realms, or these are also the areas where beings exist. And these beings, ऊपर वाले कौन से हो गए? देवी देवता. नीचे वाले कौन से हो गए? Demons, women's, है ना? Evil spirits, demons, and all of these things. So this means there is a huge cosmology and there are a lot of beings, but हमें उसमें enter नहीं करना. क्यों नहीं करना? हमेशा से था. How are they created? So the humans, when they perform extraordinarily good deeds, they become, because if you are born in on earth, whatever you be, maybe you are the son of Ambanis, but still there is some suffering, like क्या बोले? हाँ, yes, actually yes, being fat, है ना? Or some other kind of something, some disease, some heartbreaks, some this, some that, है ना? Now they also have a pressure of behaving like an Ambani, है ना? They have to fulfill the pressures of their parents, isn't it? And of the society also. Can they make mistakes easily? So if anyone moves on the road and does something, like they are driving a fast car. Other people may be actually forgotten or forgiven. But will Ambani be forgiven? Media खत्म कर देगी बिगड़े हुए बाप का बच्चा ये वो. What is this? This is again a kind of a suffering that is there. So even if you are very good, even if you have a very good birth on earth, there is still suffering. So when you do such good deeds that you don't have to suffer the bodily diseases and all these things, you go to this realm. But again, all of these realms, neither from this, neither from there, you cannot go to liberation. You can only go to liberation from Madhyalok, because it is only in the Madhyalok or as a human that you have to have the suffering, and you can do the, voluntary actions, purification. तो सिर्फ मध्य, पर हमें cosmology में नहीं जाना. क्यों नहीं जाना? Not in our syllabus. There are people doing PhD on Jain cosmology. नहीं है. अभी तो बताया देवी देवता है. देवी देवता, but देवी देवता are again, are they gods? They are not gods. Okay. Cannot have pani puri like normal people. So to remove one suffering, we enter into new suffering. Okay. हाँ, नीचे करो, नीचे करो. If there is no God in Jainism, then why do my Jain friends address Mahavir as Mahavir Bhagwan? Is it a title in Jainism? Yes. So actually we have to understand the different cultures and religions influence each other. There is a continuous influence happening in each other, each culture. So originally it doesn't make sense to have bhajans about or aartis or dances in Jainism. But the influence of Vaishnavism and the Hindu culture has also created a kind of an influence on them, of course. हाँ, पूजा करते and all that. Yes. So actually it is more about the पूजा जो हमारी होनी चाहिए जैन उसके हिसाब से, philosophy के हिसाब से. तो पूजा का meaning है that you have attained perfection, and as a teacher we admire you and we also want to attain perfection. So puja, mandir and whatever, if we are doing for Tirthankaras, it should be aligned to the overall goal, that attaining moksha. But of course, how many of you want moksha? Want moksha? Sure? Oh, no, absolutely not. Ultimately, devote, if you are a true believer of Jain philosophy, praying is of no use, because everything is run by karma. I think they are just existing beings in different realms. तुम लोग हमसे क्या वो काउंसलिंग तो नहीं लेने लगे? हाँ, जैनिज्म छोड़ के काउंसलिंग में चले गए हैं हम लोग. हाँ, no, they don't reject it. Why would they reject it? They are just rejecting the God. Everything else is the same. Karma works automatically. Man who decides karma is bad or good. Your karma will decide whether you have done it right or wrong, right? So, so karmas are actually automatic works. Like how does gravity work? Automatically? किसी को करनी पड़ती है क्या? Just that automatically the nature has defined the law that anything that will fall from above will go down. Natural law. Similarly, Jainism accepts that karma works on the principle of natural law. And the natural law is the good deeds you sow will ripe into good fruits. The bad deeds you sow will ripe into good or bad fruits. So it is like completely a man is free to choose their karmas. We are absolutely free to choose our karmas. It is just that we cannot be saved from our karmas, the consequences of our karmas. So supposedly, if you have done a bad karma, nobody can save you. You will have to reap the consequences. If you have done good karma, again, nobody can deprive you of that good consequence. You will get it. Because this is a natural cycle of karma. Good karma, good consequence. Bad karma, bad consequence. And if you have to leave this whole cycle, you have to stop acting on the basis of passion and desires. Your action should be neutral, free of desires and passions. और वही तो गीता नहीं कहती है, कर्म कर फल की इच्छा, the selfless action. The same message of Gita. So ma'am, they basically do aarti of a human. So ma'am, why they say they are God? Actually, when we say humans, it has to be understood they are perfected humans, perfected souls. Those souls have infinite knowledge, infinite bliss, infinite power and infinite faith. Many of my Jain friends use two surnames, sometimes of Jainas and others of Hindu surnames like Bansal. ये क्या चल रहा है यहाँ पे? Okay. So it is like you have to understand that Jain religion came out of the overall. So now there is debate, and I'll tell you the debate. So there is a section of Jains who believe that Jainism is older than Hinduism, because the roots of Jainism are found in Harappan civilization also, and the mention of Rishabdev etc. in Upanishad, in Vedas, Rig Veda etc. shows that the existence of Jainism was beyond, or rather earlier, much earlier than the Vedic culture or religion. Now again, we know there are 24 Tirthankaras. Mahavir Bhagwan was only the 24th, the last one. He was not the founder of Jainism. He was the influential propounder of Jainism. Now Jainism again was established in this civilization by Rishabdev Bhagwan or Adinath Bhagwan. Again, this is not the only cycle that Jainism talks about. This is one of the cycle which started with Rishabdev Bhagwan. But according to them, there were a earlier, because I told you, the Jainism believes in what type of creation? Cyclical. Always going cyclical. So one civilization comes up and it goes down, then comes up, then goes down. This cycle goes on. And how many civilizations have passed according to Jainism? Innumerable. How many will come? Innumerable. We don't know. And how many 24 Tirthankaras? So each, according to them, each epoch is having 24 Tirthankaras. Jain epoch. So Jains have given a, अरे यार तुम लोग मुझे Jainism पढ़ रहे हो कि Jain philosophy पढ़ रहे हो? Jain history, ancient history. So Jains have created a whole division of time and space, and that is so elaborate, which even defeats the today's division. Very, very elaborate in dividing the time into epochs to shuns and pulls and everything. Like minute से minute को उन्होंने account for किया. Mathematics में बहुत strong था Jain philosophy and Jain religion. बहुत mathematicians बहुत अच्छे. किसने बनाया सांप सीढ़ी? नहीं पता? सांप सीढ़ी? अरे snakes and ladders, अंग्रेजों के बच्चों. Snakes and ladders, you know. So snakes and ladder was a game which was invented by a Jain Muni to explain the followers the impact of karma. and later on it translated as a game for kids. So a lot of things we don't know what from where we have got. If someone does something unknowingly, then what will also be considered bad karma? अरे तुम लोग नहीं जा रहे हो यार नरक में, रुक जाओ. I'll tell you ना, आने दो लिबरेशन वाले पार्ट पे. स्वभाववाद is a very specific philosophy of Charvak. Don't mingle. I'm कम लग रही है terms जैनिज्म में. बस उन्हीं को याद करो. Why are they praying? They pray actually originally they should pray to become like Tirthankaras. It is like praying your teacher. तुम लोग नहीं करते हो लेकिन ठीक है. So it is like praying your teacher. Teacher is like someone who has some qualities which are superior. So as a human being or as a disciple, we pray that maybe we also inculcate the good ideals like you, good qualities like you. And this is what praying is all about in Jain philosophy. Clear? It should not be to demand नई गाड़ी, नया बंगला and नया iPhone. It doesn't. So समझ में आ रहा है? The praying is of entirely different kind. Ma'am, I have listened some boli, and what are they? So any bolis, bhajans, artis, and any kind of kathas and regional things that you have heard about any religion, they are local interpretations which are generally not part of the philosophy. This is the abranch of philosophy. Abranch means modifications of philosophy by individual people. Epoch, time division. So there are a lot of epochs that have gone by, and we are in one of the epoch. This epoch started with Rishabdev, and there is Mahavir Swami, who was the propounder, and many more will come. हमेशा से वर्ल्ड में है, हमेशा से वर्ल्ड में कहां से आए नहीं पता. There is no talk from where they came and why they came. They were always there like objects. बहुत सारे हैं, but concretely 7 नरक, 7 स्वर्ग and 1 मध्यलोक. मैम I have लिखा, हाँ ठीक है, हाँ बहुत सारे हैं. We've got influence. These people were sitting together discussing. So when you people discuss your answers, you take something from their answers and make it in your own answers, something like this. And when we will see, there will be a lot of interrelations. The same concept we will study in Jainism, then the same concept we will study in Buddhism, and the same concept we will study in Vedanta. And when we study in Jainism, they will say, the criticizers will say, this is not an original idea because it was also found in Buddhism and Vedanta. When we will say the same idea in Buddhism, it's not the same idea because it's also found in Jainism and Vedanta. And when we will read it in Vedanta, so the criticism is same. So because we don't know किसने किससे लिया. तीर्थंकर बताऊंगी ना अभी full recipe. I will tell you the full recipe to become Tirthankar and to attain Keval Gyan. Recipe I know. If you have the courage, then do it. Current situation, particular religion believe in Mahavir as God, but Mahavir spread a way of living, they don't believe in God. Yes, absolutely, Chauhan. हाँ कोई एक रेसिपी चूज कर लेना, 9 रेसिपी मिलेगा आपको, बिल्कुल सही. तभी तो 4 बार को हटा देना, तभी तो 9 है. ठीक है, अब मोक्ष प्राप्ति की राह पे चल पड़े. ओके ठीक है, ओपन योर नोट्स. एक बार थोड़े से चार्ट्स देख लेते हैं और तब तक आपके हैंड रिटन वाले नोट्स भी आ जाएंगे, देन वी विल रीड. अरे यार तुम लोग फिर बाद में रोगे डिटेल नहीं मिला, डिटेल नहीं मिला, वो रिटर्न नहीं मिला, है ना. हाँ वो भी दे देंगे. No, you will get words also, no? There are certain terms that are required to write answers. Don't worry. This time बहुत अच्छे से उसमें चीजों को सेग्रीगेट हम लोगों ने किया है ना. इट्स वेरी इजी टू रीड. जैनिज्म देखो, चारवाक, जैनिज्म, इन सब में तो गलती करना ही नहीं है. दीज आर इजी फिलोसफीज. योग, सांख्य, देखो आई विल टेल यू द इजी फिलोसफीज. चारवाक, जैन, योग, सांख्य, न्याय वैशेषिका, very easy, and Aurobindo. There are only two philosophies which can be considered a little complex: Buddhism and Vedanta. If you but again, if you understand them, बहुत मजा आएगा. All else are very easy. Direct questions, direct answers. You just have to like बहुत आसान है. Real challenge आता है सिर्फ और सिर्फ दो फिलोसफीज को समझने में. और दो में भी सिर्फ अगर हम बहुत ज्यादा उसको नैरो डाउन कर लें. Buddhism is also easy. The real challenge comes in understanding the schools of Buddhism, and in Vedanta only the Shankaracharya. But if you understand Shankaracharya and if you understand the schools of Buddhism, Indian philosophy is sorted. And I specialize in Shankaracharya. Don't worry. Yeah. I make people Shankarites. We pray for demand or for thanks, but other way of praying is difficult to imagine. प्रतिभा, हाँ यार तुम लोग अपना praying का तरीका मत बदलो. It's okay. Shivanshi Shah, Jain religion and Jain philosophy could be different, and all other religions which are based on certain philosophy can have different rituals which are not in philosophy. Absolutely. Religion and philosophy is different, though initially religion starts with philosophy, but usually it becomes deviated. I'll tell you, if I give you an example how it deviates. So 10 people sitting and doing some ritual, है ना? They take some water and then throws it and they say सारे बुरे कर्म खिंडा दिए हमने, है ना? And now they are happy. Now 3 people seeing them, यार खिंडाए तो है ही, और हमारा क्या जा रहा है, खिंडा के देख लेते हैं, इसमें कुछ जा थोड़े ना रहा है. Is there any loss in doing this? No. They also start doing it, and then their ritual becomes in their culture also. They start also doing it, and kids are now like, हमारे पूर्वजों ने खिंडाया था. खिंडाया समझते हो? Oh, sorry, it's my colloquial language. So what do you say? Spilling the water, है ना? The spilling of water, or whatever. So this is how the cultures and the rituals are made. Clear? Okay, let us see. किसी को खिंडाया समझ में आया था? आया था? आ गया था? हरियाणा वालों को आ गया होगा. हरियाणा वालों को आ गया था कि अच्छा एक्शन देख के समझ में आ गया ना. Okay, see, come back. Cool. जीव अजीब देख लिया हमने. खिंडाया. Yes. So consciousness is inversely proportional to karma pudgal. Simple. Now, if a thing has more karma pudgal or karma pudgal means karmic matter, because karmas are matter or material in Jainism. ये बात समझ में आती है? So if karmas are more, so consciousness will be less or more? Less consciousness. And less means how less? Extremely less. And things like rocks, table, chair are actually have dormant souls. Dormant souls nearly, it appears they have no soul. Now these are, because they have no sense organ, they are categorized into pudgal or material only. Sense organ ही नहीं है, कुछ ना अंदर जा रहा ना बाहर आ रहा, तो इन सबको हम क्या कह देते हैं? pudgal or material, right? And when the sense of consciousness increases, karma particles move, consciousness increases. Then when one level of consciousness comes, one level, first level, that is only the level of touch. It is found in Tower in one cell. Earth, water, fire वाले जो एटम है ना, एटमिक्स, उनमें मिल जाती है, ठीक है? Only one sense. Then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. 5 humans. And after 5, बहुत क्लासिफिकेशन है जैनिज्म, हम उसमें नहीं जाएंगे, ठीक है? देवी देवताओं में हमसे ज्यादा है ना? So we will not go in that classification, but yes, we can say that after this, if a person starts to meditate, starts to remove karmas one by one, then they will achieve avdhi gyan, then manah paryay gyan, and at last keval gyan. Clear? Demigods we will not consider, out of syllabus. That is why we will not, because अगर वहां देखो, मेरे को तो पता है, मैं समझाऊंगी, तुम लोग घूम जाओगे, मतलब you will be like कि क्या हो गया, ऐसे वाला हो जाएगा दिमाग में, है ना? Don't go in there. Fine? Okay. Now see, matter is the cause of bondage and dissociation from matter or karmic particle is liberation. ठीक है? अब हम एपिस्टेमोलॉजी को थोड़ा और इसके नीचे आओ, इसके एकदम नीचे और नीचे वाले में एपिस्टेमोलॉजी ऑफ जैनिज्म में आओ पहले. एपिस्टेमोलॉजी ऑफ जैनिज्म, 2 टाइप्स ऑफ नॉलेज, प्रमा एंड अप्रमा. ये 4 नहीं है, ये बहुत गलत तरीके से डायग्राम बना दिया गया है. इट इज लाइक, अच्छा मैं खुद ही बना ही देती हूँ ना. नहीं, अरे मैं बनाऊंगी तो इन लोगों को लगेगा कि बनाया जा सकता है, नहीं तो ये भी ऐसी किताबों में से देख लेंगे. प्रमा एंड अप्रमा. प्रमा इज ऑफ 2 टाइप्स, परोक्ष एंड aparoksh. Paroksh is of how many kinds? Mati and Shruti. Mati is of 2 kinds, perception and inference. Aparoksh is how many kinds? Avdhi gyan, manah paryay and keval gyan. Fine. Then there is aprama. Aprama कितने टाइप का है? 3. कहाँ, अच्छा पढ़ लिया क्या तुम लोगों ने? नहीं पढ़ा? उसके नीचे आओ. संशय, संशय, विपर्याय और अनदिवसाय. संशय का मतलब क्या है? डाउट. Wrong knowledge means doubt. So sometimes you are in doubt. पता नहीं, मैंने उसको देखा तो था, वो था या नहीं. I don't know whether the person was same or not. What is this? Wrong knowledge. You don't know. You are in doubt. Then mistake. One night you were going in a jungle. Something slithering appeared on your leg. You thought it was snake, but it was, this is mistake, viparyay. Then indecision or wrong knowledge due to carelessness, anadavasai. So you are not actually concerned about right knowledge, right faith, like we are in, like most of us, because carelessness. अगर by any chance Jain metaphysics, मतलब Jain philosophers ने कहा, मैंने नहीं कहा, again, by any chance, if the Jain metaphysics and epistemology is correct, this means we are not even considering our actions, or are we looking on our karmas? This means that we are following the wrong knowledge just out of carelessness. This is another way of wrong knowledge that is known as anadavasai, indecision or wrong knowledge due to carelessness. तो कितने तरीके की wrong knowledge है? 3 टाइप की. Clear? गलती से सीखते नहीं है, गलती सिखा देती है. हाँ, तो the Jainism is not saying they are absolutely free. You are absolutely free to make mistakes, but you will have to face the consequences. You will have to face the consequences. ठीक है? Very simple funda. No, there is no problem. You are absolutely free to do anything. Only rider is that whatever you sow, you will have to reap. Simple. तभी तो, have you heard that Jains are ahimsak? They even talk about, अभी आएगा वो मन वचकाई and all these things will come. Don't worry. चलें आगे? ठीक है? Okay. This is the various kinds of knowledge or theory of knowledge that it has. After this, let us come at the theory of Nyayavad. Now, when you attain some knowledge, you must be able to speak about it. You must be able to speak about it. Whatever your knowledge is, you must be able to make a statement about it. Now, Jain philosophy accepts that there are 7 different ways of. So now again, न्यायवाद का एक बहुत अच्छा classification C.D. Sharma में given है, which appears to be an authentic classification, but it is a difficult one. Fine. I will give you a photostat of that tomorrow for deeper reading. वो हम डिस्कस भी कर लेंगे. ठीक, अगर इतना डिफिकल्ट नहीं लिखना हो, वैसे एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं है आप लोगों से, but still, for there may be a few of you who want to be really, you are really interested and want to be like read more. For them, I will give you, right? But it is absolutely fine if you write whatever I am making you write. Absolutely fine. Clear? Okay. So Nyayavad means that whatever your knowledge is, how do you speak about it? How do you make judgments or statements? Now, there are 3 ways of making statements according to Jainism. One is Durniti. Durniti is when you speak about reality or partial reality like absolute truth. When you speak about partial reality like absolute truth. अगर मैं ये बोलूं, this object is only pink. This object is only pink. What is it? Partial knowledge, but I am saying it like a full confidence. Only pink. My knowledge is partial, but I am saying it is only pink. Is it only pink? This is Durniti. Durniti समझ में आ गया? Partial knowledge, I am saying it like a absolute truth. इसके अलावा और कुछ जैसे सच हो ही नहीं सकता. When I say it is only pink, absolute truth, Durniti. But if I just say, second is ne, simply making a judgment, it is pink. I'm not saying only pink, but I'm just saying it is pink. Again, it is wrong because I'm not stating that whether I'm saying it absolutely or partially. मैंने बताया क्या? नहीं बताया. This means that when I say it is pink, what will you say to me? Huh? I am saying, so don't understand like this. You have to understand कि ये बहुत ही कीमती चीज है. And the right answer will make you win 1 crore rupees. I am saying this is pink. What will you say? How many of you think that I am wrong? अरे बाकी क्या कर रहे हो? सो रहे हो क्या? हाँ? अच्छा अच्छा बताओ किस किसको लगता है आई एम सेइंग द ट्रुथ, कंप्लीट ट्रुथ? कंप्लीट ट्रुथ नहीं है. This means if I do not specifically say that my knowledge from this place, from this perspective, in this time, from this point of view, this means I am making a wrong statement which can be denied by anybody. तो ऐसी statements क्या होती हैं? नए. और last statement क्या होगी? प्रमाण. प्रमाण क्या है? स्याद. Now rather than saying ये था only pink, ये था this is pink and this is स्याद, this is pink. Now स्याद add करते ही क्या हो गया? From my perspective, in this space, in this time, it appears to me that it is pink. Now can you deny my statement? Can anybody say कि मैंने कुछ झूठ बोला? नहीं बोला? यानी कि my truth can be different from my perspective and your truth can be different from your perspective. Only if we understand this difference, a lot of problems of the world will get solved, resolved. Clear? If there are two people sitting here and I make a figure like this and I ask, what is the number? Some will say 9, some will say 6. Who are correct? Who are correct? If they say 6 or 9, wrong. They should say Syad 6 or Syad 9. Then both of them will be right. Because they acknowledge that their knowledge is partial and they are speaking this statement only from the point of view of their location and their time and from their perspective. Clear? बात समझ में आ गई? How important is Syad for speaking? We can write any. Actually, this is not the exact translations. When we translate from Sanskrit to Hindi, or rather, from Prakrit to Sanskrit to Hindi to English, a lot of things change. है ना? Both of this is right. Syad or Syat. Both of them are right. You can use whatever you are more comfortable with. Okay? Then it will challenge inference. क्यों? Why? नो मृणाली, इतना डीप नहीं जाना, बस यहीं तक रहना है ना? ठीक है, बात समझ में आ गई? So now Jain philosophy classifies statements into Durniti, Ne and Praman. And they say Syad is the hallmark of truth. This means if you want to speak truth, you must use Syad. And to prove this, that how it is all possible, they say each statement can be, or each statement or each object can be spoken about in 7 different ways, which they call as Saptabhangi Ne, or 7 steps of truth, or 7 steps of judgment making. कुछ भी लिख सकते हो, सब अंग्रेजी है. टर्म क्या है? सप्तभंगी ने. Come here and see what are the 7 steps. Syat asti. पहला क्या है? Syat asti means ये है. When I say स्यात् पेन अस्ति, this pen exists from my location, time and perspective. It exists. A person who is standing in the next room, and when you talk about him, about this pen, what will they say? पेज नंबर नहीं है यार, ये स्यादवाद, स्यादवाद शब्द भंगी ने है. थर्ड पेज, हाँ जो भी थर्ड लिखा हुआ है उस पे. So if you ask the person standing in the next room, where is pen? क्या पेन है? Is there a pen? What will they say? What will they say? स्यात् नास्ति. या फिर एक और एग्जांपल लेते हैं, पेन वाला थोड़ा और सिंपलिस्टिक हो जाएगा, और लेते हैं. Let us say there is a room and in this room there is a freshly made pot. Freshly made pot मतलब किस किसने घड़ा बनते हुए देखा है? देखा है. कौन से कलर का होता है? मिट्टी का कलर होता है ना. And after it dries out, reddish brown. And if it is glazed, a color also changes a little bit. Okay. So now there is a freshly made pot and there is a person standing. This person will say, if I ask him, is there a pot? What will they say? स्यात् घटक. घटक means pot in Hindi. घटक अस्ति. हाँ घड़ा है. There is this pot. If a person standing here in the next room, you ask, क्या घड़ा है? स्यात् घटक नास्ति. घड़ा नहीं है. He is also true. And talking about the same घड़ा. Okay. Now third. You talk about a third person. या फिर इसको third person को भी हटा दो. Now you talk about a person who just went from this room to this room. Now you ask him, घड़ा है? आस्ति and नास्ति. है मैंने देखा था अभी, but इस रूम में नहीं है. आस्ति and नास्ति. Now if you ask fourth, now I ask the question about the same घड़ा. What is the color of this घड़ा always? What is the color of this pot always? Always. Can you say anything? This means it is indescribable. Indescribable means avyaktam, something which cannot be said. Avyaktam. स्यात् avyaktam. Now I ask about the same pot. ये घड़ा है और किस रंग का रहेगा हमेशा? Is it a pot? Is there a pot? And what will be the color of this pot always? आस्ति and अव्यक्तम. घड़ा तो है, but color नहीं कह सकते. Then नास्ति and अव्यक्तम नहीं है और कलर के बारे में कह नहीं सकते. Then आस्ति नास्ति and अव्यक्तम रंग के बारे में बता नहीं सकते. So now it is like according to Jain logic, अभी तक हम लोगों ने दो टाइप का लॉजिक पढ़ा है. अभी तक हमारे हिसाब से जो लॉजिक है, that is a thing can be there and cannot be there. Yes and no. Binary. Right? But the Upanishadic logic consists of 4, जिसे हम चतुष्कोटि कहते हैं. चतुष्कोटि. We will read about in Vedanta. Chatushkoti is, something is not, then हाँ कुछ ऐसे किसी ने पढ़ाई नहीं है. मुझे तो कुछ बता रहा था फिलॉसफी के बहुत सारे बच्चे ग्रेजुएशन वाले. Who is it? Yeah. ओके जाने दो, भूल जाओ, जाने दो, ठीक है, हम लोग पढ़ेंगे वेदांत में, डोंट वरी, अभी इसको मत लाओ। लेकिन ये बात समझ में आ गई। तो वेदांत में 4 की बात करेंगे और जैन्स ने कितनी बात करी है? 7। स्याद अव्यक्तम, स्याद आस्ति, स्याद नास्ति, स्याद आस्ति नास्ति। स्याद नास्ति नास्ति अव्यक्तम, नॉट इनडिस्क्राइबेबल। तो यहाँ पे खड़ा था ना बंदा, when you ask him whether there is spot and what is the color of it, ठीक है? It is like it's the easiest way to understand. ठीक है, I have given you this example because it is the easiest way to understand. But don't in your exams write वो आदमी इस कमरे से बाहर चला गया था, ये because this is not the example given by them. It is I who have created this to make you understand. Fine, this is not an authentic example given by Jain philosophy. They have talked about Ghatak, but that talk is a little complex. I have simplified it in a story format. Fine. है, लेकिन उसका कलर क्या है? अरे just imagine questions and 3 people. It will be clear. Simple है क्या? मुश्किल है क्या? It's simple, right? Okay, fine. ये हो गया हमारा, श्योर? अब इसके बाद हमारे पास सबसे आसान चीज है, that is the process of bondage and liberation, and it's very interesting, very, very interesting. We will understand it in a flowchart format. Words and things, everything we will provide you, right? How many souls are there? Now each soul has 4 qualities. Those are these are together known as Anant Chatushte. But when these souls come under the influence of Kashai, Kashai is a Hindi term. Kashai means passions and desires. Come under the influence of passions and desires. Kashai is like a oil massage. Oil massage means खूब सारा oil लगा लिया. And then if you apply oil, what will you attract? Dust particles. Similarly, after a person has this passions and desires, they start to act karma, and they attract karmic particles. Karmic particles are matter or material in nature. When this process of attracting karmic particles starts, it is known as ashrav. First step, which is known as ashrav. Ashrav is actually again of 2 types, bhav or कर्म. आश्रव, जब आपके विचार खराब हुए, अभी आपने मारा नहीं है. Have you heard people say, I will kill them, I will do this, I will do that? This is bhav, Ashraf. Bad thought, bad disposition itself starts the attraction of bad karma. That is why when we say Jains do not just believe in bodily action, they also believe in mental action. This means if you have to be good, you just don't have to be good in actions, you also have to be good in intentions. Your intention also has to be pure. So Ashraf means when you start thinking about anything with passion and desire, you start attracting karmic particles. And then you start doing action, real action under passion and desire, karma ashraf. Karma ashraf means एकदम बहुत तेजी से karmic particles are attacking you, not you, soul. Yeah? So it is attaching with the soul. And when the attachment happens, when the attachment of karma with the soul happens, this is known as bandh. Bandh means bondage. Now bondage is again of two kinds, bhav bandh and karma bandh. ये बना हुआ है ना इसमें, क्या द्रव्य, क्या किसकी बचेंगे, एक ही बात है. कर्म मटीरियल ही है नेचर में, ठीक है. कहां पर रहता हूं, एम्बॉडीड कर्मा. हाँ, अच्छा, भाव बंध, द्रव्य बंध. द्रव्य बिकॉज इट इज कार्मिक पार्टिकल्स आर मटीरियल और पुद्गल इन नेचर. यहाँ पे द्रव्य की जगह पे हम पुद्गल भी कर सकते हैं, है ना. द्रव्य नेचर, द्रव्य बंध. कर्म बंध भी कह सकते हैं इसको, द्रव्य बंध भी कह सकते हैं, और पुद्गल बंध भी कह सकते हैं. इट्स ऑल इन द सेम थिंग. inflow of karmic particles. It is the inflow, attraction. जब actual soul and karmic particles mingle into each other like water and milk, that is bandh or bondage. Bondage is again of two types, bhav and dravya. Bhav bandh matlab you come under an emotional or a mental bondage. Sometimes we remain only in our mental bondage. This means when you are talking about killing someone other or hurting someone other, aren't you also hurting yourself by such thoughts? You remain in that tension, that loop, isn't it? Mental bond or mental bondage. And if you act, you also create dravya bondage or karma bondage, a greater level of bondage. Okay? And this loop will go on till when? Infinity. जब तक, अब ये बॉन्डेज में आ गया, अब ये बॉन्डेज कब तक चलती रहेगी? चलती रहेगी. People come, people get born, people act under passions, they get the karmas or they get the consequences of their past karma, and before realizing even, they go back and come again. And how many times, how many births can happen like this? Infinite. And what is the cause of bondage according to Jainism? There are 5 principles. See on the right. First is Mithya Darshan. Mithya Darshan means wrong faith. According to Jainism, sometimes people believe that the soul is temporary, and when there is no soul, there is, who do you work for? And sometimes people think there is only one soul for everybody. Vedant, which means, can an individual do something? No. This means when we have wrong faith, when we have wrong darshan, according to Jainism, that is one cause of bondage. Because of wrong faith, you don't even start working towards your liberation. You don't even start working or watching your karmas. So if you are a Charvak or a Buddhist or a Vedantin, according to Jainism, it is wrong faith or mithya darshan. Right? If you are a Charvak, will you watch your karmas? वो तो क्या कहते हैं, खाओ पियो ऐश करो. This means that if you are a Charvak, is there any way, according to Jainism, to leave this cycle? No. You will be continuously in the cycle. Second is avirati. Avirati means not following any vrat. No restriction upon yourself. Vrat matlab restriction. A matlab anti, opposite. Avrati matlab someone who is not following any vrat. Avirati. Someone who has no control over their thoughts and actions. If you cannot control your thoughts and actions, you will always be in bondage. If you sit and some very violent things are being talked about and some violent things are shown to you, you still sit and you cannot keep a vow. Like कभी से सुना होगा ना कि भाई जैन लोगों का व्रत है, ये है वो है. What is this? This is the practice to follow some kind of a discipline on body and thoughts. And the vrats are not just about eating. Vrats are also about not having bad thoughts. We can also take vrats for our bad thoughts. This means if a person is not restricted in their thoughts and actions, they will be in bondage. Third, pramad. Pramad means carelessness. लिख लो, pramad means carelessness. वैसे मैं लिखवा प्रिंटेड नोट्स के अंदर ये सारे के डिटेल्स मिल जाएंगे, बट स्टिल लिख लो, ये सफिशिएंट होता है इसमें लिखना. इतने चार्ट्स हैं, आंसर में 4 चार्ट ही बना दोगे तब भी नहीं हो पाएगा, जगह नहीं बची. तो it's very easy also to write Jain answer and tough नहीं है वैसे. Fine. So pramad means carelessness. Sometimes we are so careless, we are not even thinking about liberation. Therefore, we are in bondage. Fine. Then kashai. Kashayan is acting under passion. और वो कौन से 4 तरीके के हमारे पैशंस होते हैं? काम, क्रोध, लोभ, माया. 4 types of kashai. Kam means lust. Lobh means greed. Kam, krodh means anger. And what is the last one? Maya. Maya means delusion. Delusional हो जाते हैं ना लोग. Delusional, like according to Jainism, Big Bang Theory. We live in a delusion that there was a Big Bang Theory and we are just a evolution of animals. According to them, this will be delusion or Maya. Fine. Then yog. Yog means action. Yog means check. Am I audible to online students? Okay. बहुत सारा yes no हो गया. Okay. Yog means action. Action under the influence of passion. Okay. Now, if these 5 are the causes of bondage, if you do the opposite, those will be the causes of liberation or the way out. This means if mithya darshan or wrong faith is the cause of bondage, what will be the cause of right liberation? Samyak darshan or right darshan? Samyak means right. Samyak darshan. अब सम्यक दर्शन कौन सा होगा जैन के हिसाब से? जैन दर्शन. ठीक है.
अगर मैं जस्ट बिकॉज मैं अपने आत्मा को जानूं नहीं और मैं ब्लाइंडली डेली फॉलो करूं तो क्या दर्शन हो गया ना।
आत्मा को जानने के तरीके कैसे कैसे होंगे, है ना? बट यू विल हैव टू फॉलो वन वे.
दर्शन हो सकता है क्योंकि अगर मुझे मोक्ष की इच्छा है तो मैं सम्यक दर्शन, और मुझे मोक्ष की इच्छा है तो मैं जिज्ञासा करूंगी तो मैं मुख्य दर्शन नहीं होगा क्योंकि मुझे
बात सही है, आइडियोलॉजिकली बात सही है, बिल्कुल, ओरिजिनली. बट अगेन, to understand the nature of soul itself, to understand the nature of soul itself, you will have to decide whether it's momentary or whether it is permanent or whether it is momentary and permanent, like Jainism says. Tolerant है नहीं, सम्यक दर्शन. So now say, you have to understand it like this. When they say Samyak Darshan, they are saying the right faith. They are not actually specifically saying ki Jain. They are talking about the principles that have been given from this order of monks. Jain to हमने term दे दिया उसको. Path of the Tirthankaras. Yes. That is the way they have said or considered as the Samyak Darshan or the right darshan. Fine. And if not following any vrat was the way of bondage, what will be the right way? Following vrats or virati, following some restrictions or disciplines in life. This means if you discipline your mind to remain focused on things that matter, if you discipline your body to remain in the bounds, not to get into habits of alcoholism or any other bad habits, then you are following some vrati. And if carelessness was the cause of bondage, opposite kya hai? Carefulness, apramad. If kashai, working under passions of kam, krodh, lobh, maya, was the cause of bondage, what will be the cause of liberation? Kashai. Very simple. If working under passion was yog, cause of bondage, then working without any passions will be sorry, online people, sorry. Then it is ayog. And how to work or how to attain the actions without passions? By following three ratna. What are the three ratnas or three disciplines? Samyak darshan, samyak gyan, samyak charitra. Samyak darshan means right faith, right knowledge, and right action. All of these three are simultaneously required. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि right faith आएगा, फिर right knowledge आएगी और फिर right action होगा. Right action, charitra, character or action. Right character or right action. No, I didn't say that. I said, according to Jain philosophy, Samyak Darshan is the way they have shown. The way they have shown. Yes. I'll tell you. The original interpretation, which goes perfectly right with the philosophy, is that जो भी right है, वो right darshan. That's the original. But बात ये कि जो भी right है, उसको ही तो ले लिया उन्होंने. उनके हिसाब से whatever was right, they have taken it. That is the right faith. है ना? अब देखो यही होता है. When so originality, the moment अभी आएगा, आने दो. When we will criticize na relative and absolute, it will come. It will come there. Don't worry.
Even the concept of right changes. For example,
exactly. Yes. Con negative liberation.
reason for that matter. The liberation the concept is changed. I am saying that for every philosophy, concept of liberation.
Yes, 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 yes.
reality एक होता है आत्मा से
नहीं.
तो जो भी था मैम reality आत्मा में से कोई भी एक या टाइम में से कोई भी एक या उसके
ये हम लोग 8-9 ऑप्शंस नहीं देख रहे हैं.
या उसके भी बियॉन्ड नाम देखिए
हम ये 8-9 paths देख रहे हैं to a common destination, which is liberation. There are 7-8 paths, and ये तो हम 7-8 पढ़ रहे हैं. Actually, में how many paths are there? Many paths. And actually, can you compare one path with another path? The journey of one person with another journey, person of another journey, journey of another person. Can we compare that? Yes, yes. Not everybody wants liberation. And again, these all are a kind of things which you should read with open mind. And rather, you should not hurry in choosing. You should try to just see कि अच्छा ये भी एक रास्ता है. अच्छा ये भी एक रास्ता है. So you just see the various ways of philosophizing, various ways of looking at the same thing. See the same thing. We are talking about the same Atma, same Paramatma, same world, but in so many different ways we will talk about it. And when you know so many different ways, it will open up a wisdom eye later on. So when next time somebody comes and tries to fight with you, you feel like, Jaane de. It's okay. And it's not that you don't want to. It's like you understand the childishness of the other. And that comes only with the wise mind. And wisdom comes when you know many paths. And when you know many paths, you also become, you have that clarity that there is no one way of anything. That is very essential for leading a good life. So philosophy as an optional or as a subject doesn't help you just in UPSC. It helps you overall personality development. क्या बोल रहे हैं बच्चे ये? Ma'am, carelessness about what? Carelessness in actions. Like ऐसे ही वो हिलाते हुए जा रहे थे चाकू. कोई मर गया. Like carelessness like these. Ma'am, this all things like bondage and liberation are applicable on AI machine. If they have all things, if it is wrong question, you leave it. So again, AI, etc. are just machines. They are not jivas, and we don't know. Maybe after some time they may turn to a jiva, but not yet. Huh? हाँ, but that's not atom soul नहीं है ना? But atom तो soul नहीं है. Again, सारे atoms में soul नहीं है. There are pudgals also, which are materials. Again, अब ये जो है ना, ये वाली जो चीज है, it's not very clear. Rather, you should not go deep into it. It will confuse you. Again, है ना? So if you start thinking about every atom has a soul, then where is Pudgal? Pudgal क्या है फिर? अगर सब जीव हैं तो Pudgal क्या है ना? So we have to understand Pudgal as materials. Some material bodies have souls, which we call जीव, because अगर इसको simply understand करना है तो ऐसे समझ लो, सब चीजों के अंदर जितने एटम्स हैं उनमें क्या है? सोल. लेकिन जब डोरमेंट है, when it is dormant, without any consciousness, without any sense organ, it is Pudgal. जब sense organ नहीं है, consciousness नहीं है, तो वो क्या है? Pudgal. Because it is completely dormant. When it starts us getting associated with some kind of consciousness and at least one sense organ, it becomes jiva. There can be many jivas. Again, when you say humans, Now humans as one skand of Pudgal or one skand of that complete will have one soul. It will become really confusing if you start to think of many souls, even though Jainism has also talked about that. लेकिन हम उस वाले एरिया में जाएंगे ही नहीं, क्योंकि it's not, because that aspect is not part of our syllabus.
Atom or the soul?
Soul is dormant in that atom. Atom is simple material things. Fine. So all of these things have multiple interpretation, different texts, Hemchandra's texts and different texts are there, and different texts have identified and talked about them in different manner. That is why we will not enter those areas. Notes में इतना sufficient है, क्यों लिखोगे वो सब? My concept of न्यायपद and स्यादवाद, न्यायवाद and स्यादवाद, एक सेकंड नीचे करो, is still unclear. What's the difference between them? Okay, वो भी हम पढ़ेंगे तो समझ में भी आ जाएगा. Ma'am, please check, is it clear? न्यायवाद is the concept that ऊपर truth is dependent on point of view, while Syadvad is a tool Jain used to describe how different truth can be coexist depending on the person. Perfect, Abhipsha. So Nyayavad means how do you make judgments about it, and Syadvad is different ways we can make judgment about it, and Nyayavad is the kind of statements that we make about it. Simple. Syadvad. मैंने उल्टा बोल दिया क्या? मैंने क्या बोल दिया? Anekantvad means many things. Nyayavad means one can have different statements about it, and this difference of statements is known as Syadvad. यही बोला ना मैंने? कुछ और तो नहीं बोल दिया? So this is metaphysics, this is epistemology. Syadvad is the linguistic expression of epistemology. Being vocal about it. Yes. Syad, how do you speak about knowledge? How do you speak about truth? Clear? How do you speak about truth? That is Syadvad. Clear? Sure. Kashay is passions. Passions, to be under the influence of passions. दिल में ऐसे होता है ना कि जैसे supposedly मैंने तुम्हें दिखाया. What is this? iPad Pro. फिर मैंने तुम्हें ये दिखाया. मैं खाती हूँ. I can see all the notes. I can also edit it. अब ये सब देखने के बाद क्या आया मन में? हाँ? That thing that came into your hearts, a desire, that is Kashay. And if you start working towards it, है ना? Today you go to your home and call your parents. पता है मेरी पढ़ाई और अच्छी हो जाएगी अगर बस एक iPod Pro और मिल जाता ना, फिर सिलेक्शन पक्का है, फिर परसों फिर तरसों. So what is this? Action, योग, under the influence of desire, है ना? तो समझ में आ रहा है कैसे कैसे it works? बिल्कुल. Thoughts. Kashayan means having that passion, having that desire, having the lobh, having the lust, having krodh. So anger. So if you're angry, Kashay has taken over you. Angry हो चुके हो अब तुम. ठीक है. Now if you in your anger start hitting people, huh?
बिजनेस की तरफ बढ़ाते हैं बिना अकेला रहना पड़ेगा
अकेला क्यों? No. You have to understand. Each philosophy actually tries to make you a better person, and they shows you a path towards a better life. I'll tell you how. Any philosophy you take, whether it is Gita, whether it is Buddhism, or whether there is this Jainism, they will all talk about a situation which is equanimity. And there's a new religion that I want to start, and that is equanimity. So equanimity is the condition wherein you are not too happy when it is good, then you are not too sad when it is bad, you are not too angry when something goes wrong, and you are not too elated when something goes right. That path where you are always in a satisfied, contented mood, that is there. And that path, all the philosophies are teaching us. Whether it is Spinoza, whether it is Leibniz, whether it is Aristotle, Plato, they all will talk about it. In Western philosophy also, in Indian philosophy also, all schools will talk about that condition where you do action, but not under the influence of passions or selfishness or lust or greed. This means if you are studying, then study for the sake of study, for the sake of studying. Studying in the sense, आपको पता है मेरा गोल वो है, मुझे सिविल सर्विसेज के लिए पढ़ना है, तो सिविल सर्विसेज के लिए सिविल सर्वेंट वाला माइंडसेट लाने के लिए पढ़ो. हाँ, देखो, there is another philosophy in the world which says that nothing moves without desire, है ना? So अब हमारी जो desire है हम उससे attached नहीं है. Attachment is the thing. Attached नहीं है मतलब जब आप पढ़ रहे हो ना, you want that mindset, and the result or the derivative of that mindset will be the selection. But if you are overly obsessed with the selection, then even while you are studying, you are always thinking, bas selection ho jaye, bas selection ho jaye, bas selection ho jaye. Actually, you're not focused on studies. You are not focusing on actually answer writing practice. You're not focusing on MCQ practice. Neither you are studying properly, because at the back of your mind, there is always selection. पीछे से चल रहा है. And when you are distracted, when there is something else more strongly hitting your mind, can your mind focus on the thing which is present in your... I have seen a lot of people, they will carry a book even to a chai wala. And if you just take the book and ask, कितने पन्ने पढ़े? They will be like, सुबह से किताब लेके घूम रहे हैं, but productivity is not there, है ना? So that is the thing. If you are too much obsessed with selection, you would the productivity will not be there, है ना? But supposedly you are not worried about selection. You just want that mindset. Then you are studying. Are you burdened? When you are studying philosophy or economy or polity, then are you thinking about the selection? You are thinking about achieving that mindset. You are thinking about the pattern of exam, but you're not fearful. Then you can take right decisions about your preparation. Then you can take right, then you can understand your preparation. है ना? ज्ञान बहुत हो गया, पढ़ लें थोड़ा. हाँ हाँ. Can we say is it making Jainism philosophy itself problematic? हाँ, बिल्कुल सही. यही वेदांतिन्स ने कहा है क्रिटिसिज्म में. बिल्कुल सही. We will criticize them as Vedantins said. Yoga is karma. क्या बोल रहे हैं ये लोग? So did Jain consider Kashaya as the prominent bondage in respect of others? Yes. Okay. ठीक है, let us continue. हाँ, तभी तो खुला क्रिटिसिज्म करेंगे. हाँ हाँ, वही डिफेंस करेंगे जैन. परफेक्ट. यहीं पे तुम लोगों ने एक क्रिटिसिज्म समझ लिया, अब समझाना नहीं है. वेरी परफेक्ट. वही वेदांतिन बोलेंगे और अपने डिफेंस में जैन्स क्या बोलेंगे? वही. बिल्कुल परफेक्ट, यही आर्गुमेंट है. अभी आने दो नोट्स, अभी देखेंगे हम. ठीक है, आगे चले. हम लोग कहाँ पे थे? हाँ, बंद हो गया, बॉन्डेज हो गई. नाउ टिल द टाइम दे डोंट स्टार्ट, till the time a person doesn't get the knowledge of सम्यक दर्शन, और रादर इसको ऐसे बना लेते हैं डायग्राम को. बॉन्डेज में चलता रहेगा, साइकिल में. साइकिल ऑफ क्या है? बर्थ एंड डेथ. दिस साइकिल विल गो ऑन, बट there is only one way to break this cycle. If a person starts following three ratna, what are the three ratna? सम्यक दर्शन, सम्यक ज्ञान, सम्यक चारित्र, and they follow the Panch Mahavrat. Panch Mahavrat are 5 eternal or grand vows. 5 टाइप की वोज ले ली. वोज क्या होती हैं? व्रत, प्रतिज्ञा, भीष्म प्रतिज्ञा टाइप का. सो इफ दे आर 5 व्रत्स और वोज they take. What are the 5 vows? अहिंसा, अस्तेय, सत्य, अपरिग्रह, and last is brahmacharya. Last was added by Lord Mahavira. Earlier 4 was adopted by all the earlier Tirthankaras. ये सब लिखा हुआ है, मिल जाएगा, चिंता. अभी मैं दिखा दूंगी इसमें, अभी बस कहानी समझ लो. Everything will be in the notes. These are just flow charts. All of it you will get everything. कुछ नहीं छोड़ूंगी. I have no intent of keeping my notes to myself. Clear? So क्या हुआ? If you want to leave the bondage, then you will have to follow the 3 ratna. Then you have to follow the 5 panchvrat. You also have to follow 3 guptis. What are they? ये सब classification मैं अभी समझा दूंगी इसी में. You also have to follow 10 dharmas. All of these things you follow, and you start losing what? Kashaya. You start becoming less angry, less lustful, less greedy, and less delusional. This means जैसे जैसे कषाय कम होगा तो क्या स्टार्ट हो जाएगा? You will stop becoming angry and you will stop attracting the new karma particles. नया karma particles आने कम हो जाएंगे. It is this simple ना? More oil, more karma particles. Less oil, less karma particles. This is known as samvar. Samvar is what? Again of 2 kinds. Bhav and dravya. Bhav means you stop thinking about things in passionate way. So somebody came and somebody said, "Tu pagal hai." Earlier you would have become very angry. And now you say, "Haan yaar, kabhi kabhi." And you start laughing. The other person also laughs. This means you are less angry. And when you are less angry, you don't attract karma particles. And earlier you would have slapped that person, but now you don't slap. Dravya. And with this, samvar is actually stopping of new karma particles. Ashrav kya tha? Inflow of karma particles. Bandh means attachment of karma particles. Samvar means stopping the inflow of karma particles. नए karma particles आने बंद हो गए, but there are still lot of accumulated karma particles जो पहले accumulate हो चुके हैं. You must also get rid of them. Next step is nirjara. Nirjara is again of two types, bhav and dravya. Then you start doing penance. Penance मतलब क्या होता है? Penance, तपस्या. तपस्या करनी स्टार्ट करते हो. ये like 2 दिन खाना नहीं खाएंगे. You start gaining self control. ऐसा नहीं करेंगे, वैसा नहीं करेंगे. Lot of self control activities. So these self control activities are not important for what they are. They are important for what you get in that self control. You control your body and thoughts. You start controlling. So you start doing penance, and slowly and steadily the existing accumulated karma particles also start dissolving. निकलने लगते हैं धीरे 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 धीरे. और जब निर्जरा, अब कर्मा पार्टिकल्स भी ना, कर्मा भी 2 तरीके, 8 तरीके के हैं, 2 टाइप के. कर्मास आर अगेन ऑफ 2 टाइप्स, घातिया एंड अघातिया. अब पहले घातिया अघातिया समझते हैं, then we will move forward. Come on the पेज नंबर 5 के बाद 6, जिस पे लिखा नहीं है 6. आ गए 8 टाइप्स ऑफ कर्मास. घातिया, कैन यू सी? These are soul harmic karmas. Soul, हाँ क्या? घातिया, घातिया, घातिया अघातिया. ठीक है. घातिया कर्म are soul harming and aghatiya are bodily karmas. So first is ज्ञाना वर्णीय कर्म. अरे very interesting, you learn this, है ना? This will help you in your life overall. ले लो, पहले तुम लोग नोट्स ले लो. क्या हुआ? क्या एक्स्ट्रा है? तुम लोगों ने यहीं से प्रिंटर से निकाला है? अच्छा ठीक है. क्या है? ज्यादा ठीक है. तुम लोगों को ऐसे लगना नहीं चाहिए कि नोट्स कम है. कम कंटेंट है. अरे कोई बात नहीं, जस्ट रीड, है ना? I have tried to include so there are 3-4 books, good books, right, in Indian philosophy, and I have inculcated whatever is important from them. Okay, there are few things like one classification of Nayavad, which is which is not in these new notes. What I'll do now, I'll either put the copy of those 2 pages on LMS, है ना? If you people want to read that. LMS is the learning management system. You must have got that login. और वो ऐप से भी आप एक्सेस ऐप डाउनलोड कर ली? There is an app of the Tathastu ICS which you can download and you can view all your lectures in that. You get all your notes in that. You can also take tests in that. iOS पे नहीं है, Android पे ही अभी. iOS वाले कौन कौन है? कौन है वो लोग? हाँ तो बेटा तुम्हारे पास लैपटॉप होगा. जिनके पास iOS है उनके पास लैपटॉप तो होगा ही. App is working. It works. I have checked it. हाँ okay okay. चलो कर लें, आप पढ़ लें फटाफट. घातिया कर लेते हैं and then we will. उसके बाद ये वाला बस जरा सा और एक दो चार्ट्स देखेंगे, then we will read it quickly, very quickly. Ghatiya are 4 types of karmas. 4 types of karmas are known as. हाँ भाई मैक में नहीं है. Ghatiya are soul harmic karmas. So first is Jnana Varniya karma, knowledge obscuring karma. This means there are a lot of students who want to learn, but the situation is such they cannot learn. Isn't it? There are a lot of people who want to learn, want to know more, study more, but they aren't able to. So it can be said that उनके ज्ञाना वर्णीय कर्म उनके आगे आ रहे हैं. ज्ञाना वर्णीय कर्म means those karmas which obstruct our knowledge, which doesn't let us reach the right knowledge. There is this karma that they will not let you know the right thing. They will not let you know the right path. That is Jnana Varni. You want to know, but you can't because of those karmas in your life. Supposedly, you become an officer. Not you. I don't want my students to be like that. Supposedly, there is an officer, and that officer takes away the bribe for, so the money was for the midday meal and for the primary school. And if they squander away that money into bribe or into something else, this means they have stopped a lot of students from studying. They have hindered the gyan or the knowledge in their next birth. If supposedly they were born into a poor family with very deep desire to learn, but if they can't, what is coming in front of them? Jnana Varni. This means this Jnana Varni, because they stopped somebody else from attaining some knowledge, they have earned a bad karma which is coming in front of them, whereby even when they want to, they are not able to learn. And this can be in many forms, any form. Okay, this is one of the forms that I have told you. Jnana Varniya karma. Clear? Second is Darshana Varniya karma. Darshana Varniya karma is faith. So many people struggle with having faith. They cannot have faith on anything. वो कौन सा गाना है? Have you seen that song of Ranbir Kapoor का है ना, Kabira? What is that line in it? अरे यार तुम लोगों को तो पता होनी चाहिए ना. अरे कबीरा सॉन्ग नहीं है वो? अरे मान जा के आगे बताओ यार. यहाँ कैसी तेरी खुदगर्जी, ना धूप चुने ना छाओ, है ना. मतलब this means that there are people who can have no faith. So if you tell them there is no soul, they'll be like, अच्छा सोल नहीं है. आप तो अच्छा नहीं, चल है, कहाँ है? This means they don't want to have faith. They cannot have any faith. So this is because Darshana Varniya karma. It doesn't let you have faith. It doesn't let you have faith in general in your life. Then अंतराय कर्म, y के बाद एक और a लगा लो, अंतराय कर्म. अंतराय कर्म मीन्स लाभ. बहुत सारे अंतराय होते हैं, जैसे एक अंतराय होता है लाभ अंतराय. व्हाट इज लाभ अंतराय? So gaining. So if you want to gain something, supposedly, again, I'll give you a random example. So someone was making a donation, है ना? You said, अरे रहने दे यार, क्या करेगा, छोड़, है ना? Next जन्म, you were giving UPSC interview. Chairman was giving you numbers. He was just about to give you 190, 200. A member said, छोड़, इतना भी अच्छा नहीं था. And the member gave you 160 or 150. So why it happened to you? अंतराय कर्म. Fine? Understood? पक्का? Fourth is मोहनीय कर्म. Mohaniya karma is that attachment that we have with things of this world, of the attachment we have with other people. Moha. Why do you think Mahabharata happened? Attachment of Dhritarashtra with his son Duryodhan, or all the wars, all such things happen because of attachment towards either some luxury, some pleasure, some person, some things. So whenever there will be an attachment, it will cause you suffering. Mohaniya karma. And it is the most difficult. ऐसा कहते हैं कि it is the most difficult to overcome. We can overcome many karmas, but not मोहनीय कर्मास. Like if somebody tells you कि हाँ सब मोह माया वाला मोह, और वो मोह के धागे वाला मोह है ना, that attachment. वो गाना इसीलिए बना था, देखो that song tells you ना, मोह is like a thread or rope, something is bounding. मोहनीय कर. Fine. These you keep making. You start making, this is a continuous thing. Mohaniya karma. You have from the past also, and you continue to make in the present also. And it is said that while all other karmas are quite, of course, they are also difficult to leave, but the most sticky one and the most difficult one is to leave is mohaniya karma, because even if you can leave the moha of material objects, even if you can leave the moha of other people, like your parents, your kids, your brothers, sisters, and their loved ones, yet it is very difficult to leave the moha of your own body, and rather very difficult to leave the moha of fame. Moha of fame. Fame means people want to become famous. People want others to appreciate them. People want others to know that they are intelligent. How many of you have wasted so many years of your life to prove they are intelligent to your friends? Have you wasted? So whenever you argue randomly on tea with your friends over anything, it is just what? Of course, कोई result निकलने वाला है उसका. Neither your friend will get convinced, neither you will get convinced of their argument. Fine, you know it. You know that at outset, right? But why do you do it? Mohaniya karma. You have that attachment to your ego, or your attachment to your pride. मोहनीय कर्म, ठीक है, समझ में आ गया मोहनीय कर्म? श्योर? ओके, दीज फोर आर, यस, ज्ञानावर्णीय, हाँ हाँ हाँ, हाँ,
It's not like we are forcing someone to obstruct the knowledge gaining by the administrator on the next slide, and making the other person what you can say wrong. It's like वो मतलब हमारे को नहीं मिलेगा तो कोई और उसको नहीं कर रहा होगा तो उसको लेकर मैं बंद हो जाएगा उसको वापस और नहीं कर रहा होगा तो ये लूप चलते रहेगा।
हाँ लूप ही है, नहीं फोर्स नहीं करें, फोर्स नहीं करें. So that is why the reality has been taken up as a very complex thing. So it has to be really matched. That is why even if you do karma, you don't get the result in the immediately, because the conditions cannot be created, and sometimes there are karmas which you do in one birth, and in your 10th, 11th or 12th birth you will get the result. It is because it has to कहानी सुनी होगी ना कि जो बोगे तो उगेगा. Now there are some karmas which, or some plants which give results quickly, like धनिया. आज वो 15 दिन में धनिया, 20 दिन में. There are some plants which give which take a lot longer time. आज चावल उगाओ 4 महीने में, 3 महीने में. Then there are plants which take many more years. Bamboo shoots 5 years, palm trees many more years. So it's like this, you know. So the karma you can bow, or you can bow, you can sow the karmas. वो हिंदी इंग्लिश में बोर सो हो गया. So you can sow the karmas, but when they will ripe, we don't know, and they will ripe only when the conditions are right. There is freedom of will, absolute freedom of will. No. This is what. Because there is a मोहनीय कर्म, गुस्सा आया. Fine. Now, did at that point you had the choice of being angry or not? Can you choose not to be angry? Can you choose?
And we cannot choose. If we are under the influence of mohनीय कर्म, we cannot choose.
No. It's like the predisposition will be to have anger, but you can always choose. But ना लोग तो liberate नहीं होंगे ना. नहीं, तुम लोग नई philosophy लिख रहे हो या जैनिज्म पढ़ना चाह रहे हो? It is very it is indeterministic in the sense.
मैंने ज्ञानावर्णीय किया इसलिए मुझे पता ही नहीं चला कि राइट नॉलेज क्या है, क्योंकि मुझे राइट नॉलेज पता ही नहीं चला, इसलिए मैंने रॉन्ग चीज किया. फिर आपको वो चीज बदली.
हाँ, this is what usually happens. But if a person can make a choice, because according to Jain philosophy, all individuals are free. This is the heart of Jain philosophy. If you remove this one part, the whole philosophy will collapse. The whole philosophy stands on this thing that man is free to choose their actions. किसको दोनों हो सकता है मतलब? बस यही, इसी से बचने को बोला है जैनिज्म ने. We will see at the end. ठीक है, बात समझ में आ गई? What are the 4 types of घातीय कर्म? ज्ञानावर्णीय, दर्शनावर्णीय, मोहनीय. क्लियर? ठीक. हाँ जी. Darshnavarniya is not having the right faith. So the people who are always confused between different religions to choose, whether I should believe in God or not, whether I should do this. This is because they cannot have faith. They cannot believe in one thing. This is Darshnavarniya. Fine. So when during Nirjara, come back, when during Nirjara, Ghatiya karms are removed, the person attains, आ जाओ नीचे आ जाओ, liberation, which is Jivan Mukti, and then Jivan Mukti के नीचे line लगा के लिखो, they become arhat, This means when the Lord Mahavira or all the Tirthankaras, when they got that enlightenment, तो क्या हुआ था उनके साथ? What was that enlightenment? Removal of Ghatiya karma, thereby attaining Jivan Mukti. They attained liberation, but was it a complete liberation? No. Jivan Mukti. Because they continued to exist even after that. Lord Mahavira lived for more years till he was 80 years in age. He continued. So was he not taking any action at that time? He was taking action? Of course. But those actions were not inspired by any passion or desire. Free of desire and passions. What is the difference between first and third Ghatiya? So, Jnana Varniya means they obstruct the knowledge. Antaraya means they obstruct some gain that you are about to get in life. Any gain, a lot of it's a ये चार हमने मेजर क्लासिफिकेशंस लिखी हैं, इसके अंदर भी हजारों तरीके के कर्म डिफाइंड हैं. There are Granth and Granth on karma, because karma theory is the central point of Jainism. So there is like one of the most popular one is the Labhantaraya, which I have told you. Fine. Can you please tell Antarkay? Antarkay nahi hai, Antaray. Spelling hai A-N-T-A-R-A-Y-A. Antaray. Okay. Antaray is when due to karma you are not able to get what you want to get. The conditions are not favorable. This means some kind of Antaraya karma has come before you. You must have stopped somebody else gaining something. Therefore, in today's life, you are not getting what you want. Simple. In the end, result is to liberate the soul. What is the aim of human body then? Nothing. The aim of soul is to dissociate with human body. Dissociate with matter or particles. Fine. Okay. बात समझ में आ गई? जीवन मुक्ति हो गई? चलो अब हम final liberation करेंगे. Come back here. Then there are other kinds of karma which are known as aghati. These are bodily karma, and these can go only after body is gone, only after there is death. Before that you cannot leave these karmas. These are 4 in number. Number 1 is Vedaniya karma. Vedaniya karma is pain. Anything. करके देखो, पिंच करके देखो. बगल वाले के थप्पड़ मार के नहीं देखना, अपने ही मार के देखो. अपने मार के देखो कैसा लग रहा है? दर्द हुआ? हाँ, मारने जा रहे थे, रुक गए. So idea समझ में आ गया? Pain, yes. So even if you liberate, even if you leave all the things, if there is body, there will be pain, because the body cannot be painless. Body will have it's liable to have pain. कांटा चुभ गया, pain. Supposedly Lord Mahavira was walking in forest, एक कांटा चुभ गया. Can he avoid pain? Even though he has attained Jivan Mukti, still there will be pain. After that thorn, after having that pain, so if you get a thorn in your leg, what will you do? रोने लगे, हाय मर गए, ये हो गया, वो हो गया, कोई बुलाओ. And if Lord Mahavira has a thorn in his leg, he will be like, I must have done something wrong in my past life. That is why this has come. He will just nicely take it out and keep it. Fine. Will he cry? Shout? Get angry? So the response is under our control. The pain is not. Feeling pain, feel happiness. Supposedly, एक आदमी आया, उसे बोला, अरे आप इतने अच्छे हैं, इतने सुंदर हैं, इतने बढ़िया आदमी, आपसे जैसा कोई आदमी नहीं देखा हमने, ऐसा, you know, you are the best. So you will be like, wow, wow, wow. You start feeling happy. If somebody goes to Lord Mahavira and say the same thing, what will he say? Will he start? What do you say? Will he blow his pride? He'll be like, it's okay. So that kind of, okay. Then 2 is Ayu Karma. The age. The age is again something which has been determined by your karmas, you know. So if you have to suffer for a long time, long age, if something bad you have done in somewhere, and there is a time when your life should end at a particular time, and if there is age left, can you die? Have you seen old people wanting to die? Not artificially. Some people really want it if they are in pain, है ना? So what is this? आयु कर्म. वो नहीं मर सकते जब तक कि they have not taken all the suffering which has been scheduled. आयु कर्म. ठीक है? Then is नाम कर्म. नाम कर्म is body determining. So you will have a particular kind of height, body, weight, color, features, all of these things. Some bodies are more predisposed to disease, some are less predisposed to disease. So what is this? Naam karma. This is again which determines your body features, your identity of you. Those karmas which determine it as naam karma. And lastly, gotra. In which status will you be born? Which family you will be born? Because a lot of things will determine according to the family. Till you die, can you change your family? Leaving them behind. But still if somebody asks. नहीं, घर छोड़ना अलग बात है, लेकिन can you change it? Can you change your gotra? गोत्र नहीं, छोड़ना अलग बात है, लेकिन कैन यू चेंज इट? अच्छा, कैन यू चेंज योर फादर एंड मदर? नो ना, पक्का? वो तो नहीं चेंज हो सकते ना. हाँ, वही गोत्र. That is the gotra. Karma is like a boomerang. In the end, result is to liberate the soul. What is the aim of? अच्छा, हो गया. If the 2-year child is dead, अरे नीचे दिखाओ. Then it is due to Ayu Karma, or it is liberated from bondage. It is Ayu Karma. It's not liberation. Liberation is only if you have removed all the karmas. Clear? And with the completion of all karmas, and with the removal of all karmas, we also remove what? Aghatiya karma. And with the death, what ends? Vedaniya karma, Ayu karma, Naam karma, and gotra. When they end, what attains? What a person attains? Nirvana. Complete nirvana. and the body, there is a complete dissociation of soul and body, and the soul goes where? Siddhashila. But is the final abode of liberated souls. कहाँ चली गई फिर सारी? सिद्धशिला. एक बार ये वाला उसके नीचे वाले पेज पे आइए, हम एक बार वो सारे जो लिबरेशन के हमने ये सब पढ़े थे ना, कैन यू सी दिस? 3 रत्न, महाव्रत, 3 गुप्ती, 10 धर्म, ये एक बार देख लेते हैं क्या क्या है ना. 3 ज्वेल्स, सम्यक दर्शन, सम्यक ज्ञान, सम्यक चार्य. सम्यक दर्शन मीन्स right faith, right knowledge and right action. 3 guptis. Guptis mean restrain. लिख लो चाहो तो. Guptis means restrain. Restrain. Restrain in what? Speech, body and thought. Don't let your thoughts wander in a negative sense. Don't let your speech be random and absurd, because you can hurt other person with your speech. You can hurt it. Similarly, body, your actions of body should be very controlled. मैंने बताया था ना, ऐसे ऐसे चाकू चला के चलेंगे तो किसी को लग सकती है. So our bodily action should also be restrained. Random बातें करेंगे तो गलत बातें निकल सकती हैं जो कि किसी को हर्ट कर सकती हैं. This means if you have to go on the path, you should be restrained in वाक, काया and मन. मनो मतलब या फिर वाक गुप्ती, काया गुप्ती, मनो गुप्ती. If we want to understand it, वाक गुप्ती means controlled speech, kaya gupti means controlled bodily actions, and mano gupti means controlled mind. Panch Mahavrat. So monks have to take these Mahavrats. This means they have to be ahimsak in thought, speech and action. Thought, speech and action. Satya, again in thought, speech and action. Aste means not non-stealing. ये पता है ना सबका. सत्य मतलब truth. Ahimsa means non-violence. Aste means non-stealing. Brahmacharya means celibacy. And aparigraha means non-possession. Brahmacharya means celibacy, complete celibacy. Aparigraha means not possessing extra things. Non-stealing, not stealing from somebody else. Non-possession means they will not. So Jain monks don't possess anything. Have you seen naked Jain monks? This is because they don't own a house. They don't own any property, any object. They don't even own clothes. Because if you own something, it is very easy to get what? Attached. And if you get attached, what will start? Mohaniyakar. जैसे किसके पास, अच्छा किसने अभी नया फोन लिया है? नया फोन लिया दिखा. तो ये क्या हो गया? What happened the moment you owned it? किसका फोन है ये? मेरा. ये जो मेरा है ना, मेरा. अब the moment if I say password देके इसे दे दो, will you do it? No. Why? मेरा है. मोहनीयकर है ना. That thing, possession. If you possess something, then you will have attachment. That is why non-possession is so highly regarded in monks. समझ में आ गया? अकेले रहते, अकेले मतलब they don't possess. हाँ, तो इसलिए वो attachment, कोई relations नहीं बनाते हैं. But relation of teacher and student is different, because there is a passage of knowledge. passage of knowledge is there. So you are not attached, you respect your teachers. Similarly, teachers respect their children. There is this, what do you say, the continuity of thoughts or darshan or knowledge that must go on. That is why they take disciples, but they don't take relatives. Relation में और disciple में अंतर है, ठीक है? Okay. And if monks are so strict, but can a normal disciples, can they be so strict? No. Then they must follow. If Mahavrats are followed by monks, Grast people or the householders, they must follow Anuvrats. Have you seen the word Anuvrat? Anuvrats. Anuvrat means छोटे-छोटे woes. So this is like a monk will say, I will be ahimsak towards everything and everybody. But Jain people will say, we will not take meat. We will be ahimsak towards animals. But they will take vegetables. हाँ, उसका भी अलग फंडा है वो, I'll tell you sometime. But that's not part of our syllabus. So, and again, so you know, so it's like a whole gradation. You can take Anuvrat according to your own capability. If you say, I will keep, if I will say truth in at least these 2 hours, this is also Vrat. In those 2 hours, you cannot speak, lie. So that is again a kind of a restraint that one can keep. So householders can take Anuvrats. So they don't have to be completely celibate. They can be monogamous. They will be like, हमने इस एक से व्यक्ति से शादी करी है, we will be with them only. Similarly, aparigrah. They don't have to leave everything. They can say, we will own limited. This means that if I have 20 sets of clothes, I will not take any more. Those 20, I will try to limit myself. I will own this and not anymore. That is why you must have seen a lot of Jain organizations doing charity. So because this aparigrah people, there are a lot of people who follow it. They keep a limited and the rest they donate. Donate as a charity. Clear? Aparigrah, Mahavrat and Anuvrat. Okay. Then what are the 5 samitis that they have to follow? Irya, Bhasha, Eshna, Adan Nikshepan and Utsarg. ये थोड़ा मैंने तुम्हें डिटेल में पढ़ा दिया, इसके बाहर कुछ आने के चांसेस है नहीं, इसलिए पढ़ा दिया, ठीक है? What is Irya? Irya means carefulness in movement. मेरे पास नहीं है, मेरे पास एक भी फोन नहीं है, मेरे बैग में है. अच्छा, अभी बस ये फिनिश कर लेते हैं, ठीक है? ये वाला फिनिश कर लेते हैं. ये कल पढ़ेंगे क्या, या पढ़कर आओगे? थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़कर आओगे, है ना? So if you come, if you read it and come, then we can move really fast. Fine? Just read and come. A lot of things we have already covered. It is just the words that we will have to put in. Fine? So Irya means carefulness in movement. मैंने बताया था, ऐसे चाकू चलाते हुए नहीं चलना. Bhasha. So will you hurt somebody with your tongue? No. Your voice should always be soft and sweet. You should be sweet to hear to. Then Ashna. Ashna means having pure food. Pure food means चोरी चकारी करके, ड्रग्स बेच के तो नहीं पैसे कमाने चाहिए. Ashna. Then Adan Nikshepan, carefulness in exchange of objects. You should be very careful when you are exchanging objects with others. जैसे supposedly तुम्हारे दोस्त ने, your friend, you know, took a pen from you and never returned. ठीक है? Next time you found his iPhone. You remembered that he took your pen and never returned. So you took his, and unfair. Pen भी लेना ठीक नहीं है. हाँ, exchange. So this means when you are exchanging somebody, there should be an explicit consent that I am giving it to you for this reason. The complete consent should be there. ऐसा नहीं आपने मान लिया कि भाई वो मेरा पेन ले गया था, मैं उसका आईफोन ले जाता हूँ. There should not be ambiguity. Your exchange should be very clear. You should take only something which has been given to you. Should not take anything which is not given to you. Adan, nikshep. And then last is utsarg, that is to excrete at appropriate place. Do not, so monks, it is said that do not excrete at places where there may be some eggs, there may be some life happening. So, because you might hurt some newborns. Clear? जैसे कई लोग rivers के अंदर excrete कर देते हैं, and then that excreted thing goes to a lot of people and they become ill. They get infected. So can these people say कि नहीं हमने नहीं, हमारे से वो लोग बीमार नहीं हुए? That carefulness. Okay. What if death done without Jivan Mukti? Then cycle, rebirth. But still the old karmas will remain. Achieve मतलब